Not yet.
There we go.
Ah, now we are.
Awesome. All right, guys. Welcome to episode 105 of the Drag Drive Repeat show presented by Summit Racing. Tonight's show is packed. That's all I'm going to say. We've got Ryan and Jake on join us, talk about prep for Mega Week. The old truck, put some parts on it. The NarxKart has the transmission back in it. The block party is official in Galena, Kansas. I'm so excited. We're going to hit updates on bragging rights, back to the streets, a brand new Dragon Drive in Alabama. Alex Taylor drops wild stories about her first drag week on another interview. James Rowlett reveals his Pinks 2.0 ride, and the Onondaga Dragway just continues to surprise. So, Mr. Eric White, please hit the intro. Let's do this thing.
All right, let's do it.
All right, guys. Like I said, welcome to episode 105 of the Drag Drive Repeat show presented by Summit Racing. My name's Mike Narks. I'm the host of the show you're watching now and the news that happens on Saturdays. And my right hand man, Mr. Eric White, over here, busy as just all Hades, man. It's been crazy seeing all the stuff you've been doing. Tell them what you got going on, man.
Eric White, co host of the show and the news. Drag Drive Repeat, all kinds of artwork you see coming out of our pages. The circuit artwork going on over there. The new flyer, which I don't know if the flyer is in here for the block party, but that one is mint. Um, Working on all kinds of stuff, artwork for other events, working on an intro video for another podcast. Yeah, super busy. Plus, my channels 815 LSX Swaps and Motorsports Paparazzi, which I believe is now in the algorithm. It's been flying up, which is cool to see.
Oh man, you've been crushing over there, dude. It's been awesome. You were telling me before the show, like nearly 2 million views in the last 28 days, and how many subscribers, man?
691 in the last 28 days, and
That is
that's
insane, man. I
it's
love it.
really less than that because the month didn't ramp up till I think I got about 10 more days, so we
Wow.
should be well into the seven, if not 800s for 28 days by the time I reach a full month.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Well, I want to say welcome to everybody that's coming in, making comments, saying they're here. Do us a favor. I was while he was introing himself, I was sharing the podcast out. If you guys will do that as well. But before we get into the show, big shout out to my daughter Peyton. She is the back spot for the third place team in the entire world for International U18 Co-ed Large Group. That's why we were in Orlando last week. Eric and Jonathan Sunslifer held down the show for episode 104. We spent, I mean, literally almost a week in Orlando and then Panama City and then another 2 nights in Fort Walton Beach. It was great to get away for a minute, man. I'll tell you, but these girls and the one boy absolutely crushed it. It was amazing to see, like, listen, everybody thinks cheerleading's pretty easy, rah, rah, rah. This little 4 girl group here on the right of y'all screen, they literally, that one girl that's in the air, she's in the air for a minute and a half being tossed, picked up, moving around. She's putting her legs all out, arms out for like a solid minute and a half of a 3 minute skit, dance, whatever you call it, whatever you call those things. And it was awesome. It was awesome to see. And there were teams literally all over the world. I mean, we competed against folks from down the street in Arkansas, and then folks in Australia as well, or in the same age group. What's wild to me is like cheerleading is like it's like a car event that has too many groups, or a race event that has too many classes. Dude, every time you turn around, it was some new class, and it was like U16 international co-ed small group with like these other words behind it. It was crazy. It was nuts. So, anyways, they kicked ass. Congratulations, Infinity Athletics UFO. Y'all are badasses. The Infinity Athletics group took home all kinds of trophies. These girls took third. Two of the other groups took first place in the world. It was pretty amazing. So big shout out to them.
Yeah. So out of all those people, did you find any race car friends there?
Dude, one guy, and what was really cool. I'm glad you mentioned that because I wasn't looking at my notes. Big shout out to him. It was like the last probably 2 hours we were going to be there, and I'm standing by this dad. I've got my backpack on because I was actually trying to get some work done during the day. And I've got my Howard's Cam shirt on. And he looks over, he goes, "Oh man, I run a Howard setup in my car." And I'm like, "Oh, what's your car?" "Hello, new friend." All this kind of stuff. Super nice Chevelle. Like I'm talking like really, really nice street car. Sits real low, big wheels, all that kind of stuff. And it was just fun to be able to like talk to him for, man, I bet we talked 15 minutes maybe before we're all ushered out, and then never got close to each other again. And if I'd known he was a car guy the whole time, we'd have probably been buddied up drinking beer somewhere.
Yeah, for sure.
Your dad, that's funny. I'm a drag driver Pete cheerleader. Yeah, I wish my daughter was. That would be awesome if she could get in on some of that. Well, y'all, it takes race car friends to do this. So thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you guys being out tonight, making all these comments and watching, sharing all the stuff that you're going to do later on. Can't do it without our sponsors either, man. I tell you, they make all this stuff go around. Summit Racing, big part of our program here. Deech Works, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solutions. I can't wait to talk about the segment during J-Wire tonight. WAF Racing, Performer Built Transmissions, Car Chains 3D, Power Tube TV, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk Classified. Y'all, it's going to be a good one. Let's get to this, man. You ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
All right. Let me get this Summit ad read knocked down. We're going to talk about some cool stuff. Summit Racing Speed Legacy began in 1968 as a one-man startup and is now the world's speed shop with 4 facilities and 200 plus catalog editions, with Eric White being the cover shot on one of those. Fueling your passion, they save you money, deliver fast, and offer top-notch customer service for more than 1,500 brands. Make sure to download the Summit Racing mobile app for easy access to speed parts. Find them on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram for some great social media follows as well, or on the On All Cylinders podcast for conversations like we're having over here. From humble origins to the social media lane, Summit Racing stands by your need for speed. SummitRacing.com for all of your automotive needs. All right, dude, talk us through this product release you sent me over a few minutes ago.
Yeah, so Summit posted the car guy gift guide going on. So they posted 3 different things. This nice folding chair with an umbrella, which if I had to guess, you probably could have used one of these while you were in Florida.
It's still tender. The top of my belly is still tender.
Yeah. Then they've got the stool with the backrest. So anytime you're out in the garage hanging out and need to take a break, be a great gift. And then finally, the Camaro shelf. I mean, how cool would it be to have a shelf of the front end of your car? They've got more than just Camaros. They've got all kinds of stuff, but great, great garage decorations. So I thought this was pretty cool. This car guy gift guide that they posted earlier today.
Right. Yeah. Danny here saying get it for Mother's Day. Listen, that one of those stools, Tommy put one together at Sick Week, I think. Man, they're comfortable. I spent a few hours on one of them.
Yeah,
during the
for
week.
sure. Yeah, it's a perfect spot for the wife or someone to come sit down and hang out with you in the garage.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if I'm going to be over, like Jonathan Soseifer doesn't have any chairs rolling around his shop. So if you're there, you need to be working, or you're standing by him while he's working.
Exactly.
He's saying that, yeah, a shaded chair for mom for sure. Well, I want to talk about this because while you're over there on your summitracing.com, getting all your stuff and all your parts, you get you one of them big brim hats. I actually wore mine on the beach on Sunday, and it saved my neck. But dude, got me, bro. Got me. I can't put sunscreen's like the cologne for gingers, and I didn't put enough on. So, yeah, big brim hats, man. We got to have them. We got summer coming up. This is a great time to buy those right now.
Yeah, I
All right.
still got to get me one myself. I don't even have one yet.
Yeah, especially if for your next trip that you got coming up here pretty soon, you and the wife be out and about. You guys got a small trip planned for y'all two, romantic and stuff. I got to do one of those with me and the wife, man.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sure
for
she wouldn't
sure.
mind you wearing that big brim hat around.
Hey, listen, when we're out hiking around in the UP of Michigan, I'm probably going to need something. It's either
Yeah.
going to be a big brim hat or it'll be one of those nets you got to wear over your face because the bugs are
Oh yeah.
insane.
Oh yeah. Well, drag driver repeat updates. This is pretty abnormal for what we normally talk about. We usually don't talk about car stuff over here unless it's yours. But I actually have two updates.
Yes.
Mainly because Steven Narx is the coolest dude ever. The old truck has the wastegate dump is now on and should be 100% ready for Mega Week. We have blinkers. We have nope. I got to get a horn on it. So we're 99.6% ready. So now it's just drive time. So if it was raining today, I had intended to drive it around today, but won't be here this weekend. So Steven's coming to pick it up at some point. But the wastegate dump is on. And dude, I'm hollering at all of the photographers because it dumps at the front bumper. And man, I'm hoping that it's going to just blow flames right out the bottom. And
Nice.
then the NarxKart has the transmission back in it. We're just figuring out the last probably hour and a half of it to make sure the shifter works with this. Of course, Ford changes it every year, how they mount their shifter mechanisms. So we had to kind of, make something work. And so we got a little bit more adjusting on it, but it should be ready to go. And my plan is to drive it at least 2 Mega Week. And then if Bucket List Mob has the RV there, I'm going to jump in the RV and spend the week there. If they don't, which is, listen, no pressure there. They got race cars to get ready. Then I'm going to drive the NarxKart all week. So that's kind of my plan. So, but Steven put the transmission in while he was over here feeding the animals at the house while we were out of town.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So if you need any work, Narxleptic Customs, hit up Steven Narx. I come back in. He was like, "Yeah, man, we only got about another probably hour on the transmission." I was like, "Dude, it's still on the floor. I don't feel like messing with it." He goes, "No, I put it in the other day." I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" Torque converter bolted up and everything. So super cool. I'm excited about that. You got any updates on your side? Have you touched the Mustang?
The last one, I don't know if I had mentioned, I pulled the engine out of the Mustang, so it is completely out.
Yep.
I found a old school engine shop here locally, so probably gonna have them do do cleaning the block, so hot tank it, and then check it for cracks and everything. Once I get it tore apart, which it's an LS, you can have that thing tore apart in a few hours. So that's where it's at right now. Got it pulled out. It's sitting on the engine stand, ready for me to disassemble it, and then once I get it off to get cleaned and inspected. If you guys don't know, I'm an idiot and left water in it one winter. I have drove it since then and it seems okay, but when I'm putting all these Molly pistons and Howard cans in, I'm not going to risk
Yeah.
that there's a crack somewhere and break it. So gonna
Yep.
just take the extra precaution and have it all checked out.
Yep. I don't blame you there. All right.
And
So go ahead.
yep. And then Dad's engine, I know he's
Oh
watching.
yeah. Yeah.
I took him over a bunch of super clean. They got all the grease and grime and everything off the engine. They got it repainted. Looks awesome. He's got tons of parts. So he's got Brodix valve covers. He's got an Edelbrock intake on it. He's got a 650 carb on it. He's got a HEI distributor on it. We got a new timing chain and cover on it, new gasket. So it's coming together too. We've got just a few more things to button up on that. And then the straight six will come out of the Nova and we'll get the engine bay cleaned up and painted and then drop the 307 in and get that thing close to firing.
Dude, that's so cool, man. And what's crazy is the amount of. I thought the engine was black. Turns out it wasn't. And wow, Yeah, blew me away, man. So the super clean stuff, big shout out to them. That stuff knocked that thing right off.
Yeah, yeah, they've been pretty cool. They've jumped on as soon as I started 815 LSX swaps, and they've given me stuff to do giveaways. They give me stuff whenever I run out. So yeah, they've been definitely helpful over here on my side.
How cool. All right, well, man, let's get to it. Summit Autocross Week coming up soon, July 15th through 19th. This is like a drag and drive, but for autocross cars. And I just want to talk about this for just a second because I want to dive in on this maybe next week or the week after. But these guys can't change tires. That seems crazy to me, right?
Yeah,
That doesn't make any sense to me. So this event kind of has my ear too. I'm interested in seeing how this goes. It's like their third or fourth year to do it, and yeah, anytime autocross and driving, it's these guys pull trailers, all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like one lap, but not quite as far.
yeah, this
But
is
cool there.
definitely one that I would definitely do at some point. I'd love to take the
Oh
240 out there and do
yes.
that with those guys.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, and then the circuit, man. Um, Big update here. This is really, really exciting. I hope you guys are ready. The block party is on for Galena, Kansas. I can't wait. Eric knocked it out of the park with this flyer. We're fixing to blanket Facebook and Instagram with this flyer. This is exciting. We've never really done this. We've had, kind of times where we've hung out in a big group, but this is a big deal. This is open to the public. So we will have, you know, fans, spectators, all that kind of stuff. Those people coming to Galena, Kansas, Friday, June 27th, between 4 and 9 p.m. Again, we're blocking off Main Street, right down downtown Main Street, Galena, Kansas, Route 66. This is going to be a huge deal. They've got close to 220 parking spots, if I'm counting it right, up and down the street. We've got 4 other parking lots that we're going to fill, I'm sure. We're just basically cool cars are gonna take over the town. That's kind of my plan. Huge shout out to Brian at Hot Rod Hangout, Speed Shop and Diner, and also to Aaron Perry at Gearhead Curios. They have literally been the boots on the ground for this. They want this as bad as we do, and I'm excited. Obviously Brian is coming. He's racing in the circuit, and this is going to be a great time, man. I'm telling you, we're going to have a blast, 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 blast here. So we're going to tech Friday morning, make our way slowly to Galena. Like there's no real rush on Friday of the circuit round 2, and this is going to be nuts, man. This is going to set up something that's going to just continue to happen in the future and be a ton of fun. So big shout out again to Brian, Hot Rod Hangout, one of our route stops, and then Aaron Perry at Gearhead Curios, another route stop as well. Burnout competition, probably not this year. I don't want to try and get through that. We've got enough going on with just trying to get the street shut down and figure out. I'm telling you, I think we can have 300 or 400 cars pretty easy cruise through here if we can do this right over the next 6 weeks, 8 weeks.
Ooh.
Yeah,
No, I'm not
yeah.
ready.
No, I'm not ready either. We hadn't even started, man. We hadn't even got
But,
started.
but just think of the shots that
Mm,
I'll be able to get when I've got the drone flying through there. There's
mm.
people everywhere, cool cars everywhere. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be a good time.
Yep, there's a Mexican restaurant that's right by like an open park area, and they're going to be playing live music there that night. Dude, it's really going to be wild. It's going to be a great, great event. And then Josh Rich, and I didn't put the photos in here. I'm sorry, guys. Josh Rich and John Ketch put together a 32 car shootout that'll be happening at Mocan starting at 6 p.m. So, man, tons of stuff to do here. Tons of stuff to do. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Cool
I'm
cars
excited.
taking over everywhere.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, Driven Racing Oil event updates, sir.
All right. Driven Racing Oil is the performance engine oil that can do it all. GP1 is the ultimate oil for any race or performance application, whether you're launching hard at the drag strip, enduring the extreme heat of off road and circle track, or even pushing limits in top field drag boats and demo derbies. Winning racers choose GP1. It's compatible with engines from classic hot rods to cutting edge race machines. Their unique surface cling and high zinc formulation ensures superior wear protection, particularly for flat tappet camshafts, while also solving issues like cylinder washout with methanol and ethanol fuels. It's crafted from the legendary Bradford, Pennsylvania base oil, then enhanced with state of the art additive packages. So GP1 offers the best in protection and performance. And you guys know the deal. DrivenRacingOil.com is where you can go pick up your oil, any Driven merchandise, and you can follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Driven Racing Oil.
I know that's right. Well, John Ketchum was saying he did most of the work for the 32 car shootout. I love it. I can't wait to see what happens there. Obviously, probably won't be on site for that one, but I'm telling you, there's some fast cars coming. They've got that split up into 2 groups. We're going to deep dive on that on the next news episode. All right. Well, let's talk about like some drag and drive adjacent events that are coming up that are before our next drag and drive event. 513 racers are signed up for bragging rights, bro.
This looks like it would be a ton of fun. Like, I don't know how in the world I'll ever be able to get more time to go to more events, but
I don't know.
If I was able to, this is another one that I would love to attend. This looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, this is the photos of the cars you put here are all the streetcar bragging rights shootout photos. Like these are racers, drag and drive racers, known drag and drive racers that are racing in this shootout. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts, man.
Yeah, super, super cool. Like, I mean, the names in there are crazy. Josh Davis, Doug Cook, Matt Moore, Jeremy Ortiz, Rich Guido, Taylor Hendrick, so on. Speaking of Jeremy right there.
Yeah, buddy. This is an interesting event to me because there are so many drag and drive guys, but really they're streetcar guys. You know what I mean? Like we just take for granted that they just do drag and drives. But I mean, look at the list of these folks here. I mean, like Jim Braun's in that, like Treadle. It's man, I wish I was going Crater, buddy. I'm sorry I'm down there, man. I'm sorry. That's like the only weekend. Oh, and Mark Manor. Yeah, I don't think we have him.
Derek said 50 stick shift rides.
That's crazy. Nate had offered a media setup for me, and man, it's the only weekend that I'm home in like 7 weeks, and so I just couldn't make it make sense. But I don't know if I'll ever miss another one. Man, that's just crazy. So big shout out to them. Big shout out to them. I'm excited for them.
It's almost like there's not enough weekends in the year.
Which is awesome. I mean, think of that. Like we cover such a small portion of the actual car hobby, right? You're literally talking about drag and drive racing. We cover such a small portion, and we could be doing something nearly every weekend.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I'm telling you guys, it's not with 513 racers signed up at Streetcar Bragging Rights. We ain't even close to having too many drag and drive events.
Yeah, all we need is a Dega Bega, and we'd be on the road every weekend.
Sign me up, man. So bad. I've been looking at them hardcore. I've kind of backed off a little bit, to be honest with you, because I want to ride in the. I hope that the bucket list mob guys can get theirs done, and I can spend some time in that thing, because maybe I'll hate it, and that will be the best thing that could ever happen to us.
Dude, I sent you that one, and it's not far from me, and I'm like, this one was a tailgate one, so it's like all the camping stuff essentially had been removed, and I'm like, that would be perfect.
Yeah,
and it was perfect. In that $5,000 price range. I'm like, man,
I know it. I know it. I looked at that real hard. Believe me.
Me too.
All right. Well, big shout out to Streetcar Bragging Rights, man. Great. Good luck to them. All the racers, the promoter, the team, the officials, the track, everybody we want. I hope it goes amazingly well. And 500 racers, man, that is so big for the community. You know what I mean? Just it's amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Next up, obviously Route 66. NHRA Drag and Drive next weekend, so it's kind of like the gap weekend between Streetcar Bragging Rights and this. I mean, and Back to the Streets. This one here, 8-car shootout of some of the heaviest hitters that are out there. Dave Schroeder, Alex Taylor, Tom Bailey, Nick Taylor going to be there. That's going to be awesome seeing Uncle Sam back out. Craig Grubner, Tom McGilton. I mean, talk about just hitters here of the streetcar scene. Bryant Goldstone, Ed Enzer, and then I think yeah, that's our 8. Yeah, this is gonna be nuts, man. And the cool thing is they're in front of a huge NHRA crowd. Route 66 opens up like 4 times a year or something crazy, and 2 of them is for the NHRA race that comes through. So this is a big deal. Can't wait to see, who can take home the win, obviously, but then also just the ability for them to kind of help push some of that drag and drive that's out there.
Yeah.
As people walk by and go, "Wait, you drive these on the street? What are you talking about? I don't understand. That doesn't even make sense. My
Yeah.
10-second open header car over here, I can't even drive on the street."
Yeah, I went to this, what was it, 2 years ago now? I
Hmm.
think. I think I went to it 2 years ago, and it was a ton of fun. Like it
Yeah.
was a good time.
Well, and the cool thing is, like 8 cars, man, it just gives you a good idea of an ability to build some hype, and of
Right.
course these cars are, upper echelon. These are top of the top cars that are in the community. And so when people see these, you hope they just go home and start working on their car. You know what
Right.
I mean?
And talk about, needing more weekends. Again, this one's not far from me. Like
Yep.
telling
Yeah.
you, every weekend there's literally something that we
Yeah.
could be going to.
Yep. That is still drag and drive adjacent.
Right.
Like it still makes sense for us to do it. And then back to the streets, man. This one right here. Another one I'm hating that I'm missing. This event this year is going to be nuts, man. Have I said Brown County yet?
Oh
Have
yeah.
I talked about it being no prep drag and drive at Brown County?
Yeah. It's gonna be pretty cool. And the photos there are gonna be top notch.
Oh man,
That's
and
because it's
making
such
the
a cool track.
oh yeah, making the move from Michigan to Indiana this year, I think that's going to be great for them. There's not been just a ton of love in the middle part of the country here recently. Last year, so this is going to be a great one, man. This one right here, Matt Lang puts on a hell of a show. Adam Hodson jumped on board, helping with all the stuff here. He's a big no prep guy and like gets a lot of that. I mean, this one's going to be a good one, and it's our next Dragon Drive that's in line. So
Right.
2 weeks from now is when it kicks off, man. 2 weeks.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
man. Good luck to those guys. All right. Tell us about what's going on right here.
Yeah, so this was Rocky Mountain Race Week, Mega Week. I thought this was super cool. I've not seen anything like this done before, but Boost Line Performance Engines is gonna be on site during Mega Week. Like,
Mhm.
so, so from their post, Boost Line Performance is bringing LS-based short blocks and CNC ported cylinder heads to the Mega Week booth, all priced below wholesale exclusively during the event. So think about that. How many people on a drag and drive have blown their engine, spent countless hours searching for a motor,
Mhm.
driving who knows how many hours to get an engine, coming back and swapping it in? This is Mega Week. Like, you're not going to have the time to do that. So,
Yeah.
how cool is it to have a place on site that's going to have LS engines there?
Yeah.
Plus, Brian Tooley is going to be there, so everything you need to finish, your combo and get back on the
Mhm.
track. It's it's super cool. I think this is awesome.
Yeah, this is a huge deal right here because again, like you said, Red Hat Scotty comes to mind. Race week 2020 blows the engines up till 4 o'clock in the morning. If you could just roll over to a vendor truck and buy one, if you can, roll over and put it in. Now you're at least saving 2 or 3 hours searching, racing junk classifieds, trying to find another engine, marketplace, whatever. So
Right.
this is
And I
mm,
get it's not going to be a junkyard LS price, but
yeah,
think about it when you walk up there, you're going to have to drive X amount of hours and pick it up unless you can get somebody to bring it to you.
yeah,
Like, all that time equals money still. So, yeah, it's probably going to cost a little bit more, but A, you're going to get a better engine than, wondering if this short block that you got is even any good.
yeah,
And it's, super cool.
yeah. I'm excited. Plus the other side of that too is now we're looking like huge events, which Mega Week is the biggest drag and drives ever happened. Right. We
Mhm.
know that. We've talked about that, said that 100 times. But look at the vendor row now. Now you're going to have, Brian Tooley Racing. You're going to have Boots Line Performance. You're going to have all these other places, and Matt's listed them. They're all on RockyMountainRaceweek.com or on the Rocky Mountain Race Week Facebook page. You can go in there and see who's going to be on site. Like, this is a big deal. This is a big deal getting this kind of coverage over to us in the drag and drive community. Typically, we're outlaws, man. We don't get any extra help. We don't get any extra things. We don't get a lot of attention over here either. So this is going to be really awesome to see, and I can't wait to hang out at
Yeah,
Mega Week. It's going to be nuts.
absolutely.
All right, and then Dragway Rush did something that was really cool. This last weekend, they had signups in person. So they basically loaded up a table, awning, all that kind of stuff, and went to the tracks. They went to the starting track and set up, to get people signed up to be able to talk about the event and all that. And then this next weekend, the 10th of May, they're going to be at St. Thomas Dragway with sign up sheets and merch and all that stuff. I think this is amazing, especially for smaller or new events or newer events, maybe ones that are in their second, third year, something like that. Because this is a great way to meet people. People are going to walk by and go, what the heck is Dragway Rush? I don't even know what that means. And
Hmm.
it's going to give you an opportunity to talk to them about streetcars, all the stuff. And then, hopefully they'll sign up, or they go home and think about it, do some stuff. They're a follower of it because you're out and about talking about the event and all that stuff at the tracks that you're going to be at anyways. So even if you don't sign somebody up from the day, you still probably want a fan. You
Oh yeah,
still probably got a spectator out of the deal. So it's pretty awesome. Big shout
yeah,
out to them for doing that.
yeah. And it's just like we've done with flyers for cars and
Mhm.
coffee and stuff. It's just one more way to get people that don't know what drag and drive is, one step closer to being a part of it.
Yeah, yeah, that's for sure. Big shout out again to them. He's been on before talking about last year, and then obviously they're ramping up for their second year this time. And then, dude, a new event. I probably said it wrong in the intro, but this is a new event for 2025. It's not a brand new event to the list. It's been on the list, and this is kind of a goal of mine now is to begin to feature some of the things. I feel like a lot of times we're just talking about the next few events that come up. It's this one, this one, this one, so many days, things like that. We need to start featuring some of these, especially these events that maybe don't have the following yet that they need to get the car count that's out there. So Baileyton Dragway in Baileyton, Alabama is a track that's hosting a drag and drive. It's kind of interesting to me. And they pose the question, are they the first track to host a drag and drive? And I almost think they are. I think we've typically always seen um, promoters come in and talk to a track and add it to the schedule, but I don't know if we've seen, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, please let me know. But I don't know if there's been a track actually put together a drag and drive that would be like this. It's not just going to be at their facility, a single day or 2 day deal. So July 17th through 20th, Baileyton Drag Strip, Holiday Beach, Jake's Drag Strip, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about before, and then back to Baileyton. Based on just my simple, you know, Google deal real quick. It looks like it's about 400 miles worth of racing, so shouldn't be too long of a drive each day. And then it's 4 days of racing, so it counts as a national level event for us. This is not a world champion points event because it is the first time, and I don't think they'll have the car count to do that. They haven't proven it yet as far as like having more than one event. So we'll see. I hope they come out swinging and get a bunch of cars. It's a great spot, man. Alabama has very few drag and drive events that are close, and especially in July, this could be amazing. This could be a really really big one, and it's a track, so you get like this bonus effect of the track being the promoter because now the track wants it to succeed. Right. There was a podcast I was listening to today. It was either West Buck or WFO, and they were talking about tracks. Hey, we just rent you the facility, you do whatever you want. It's what X amount of dollars, right? They don't really care that you're successful or not.
Right.
But track hosts one of these, they care. They want it. They want it to be as successful as possible. So it's exciting. Again, Streetcar Challenge 2025 down at Baileyton Drag Strip in Alabama.
Super cool.
Yeah, more stuff we need to attend.
Right. So they have a Streetcar Challenge Facebook group that if you want more details, you can head over there and check that out.
Yep. Yep. That would be a good one. And guys, that puts us at like 45 plus events for the year. We're not, obviously not including streetcar bragging rights or the NHRA drag and drive because it doesn't really fit that. But I mean, that's a big deal, you know, like 45 events is a lot. And hopefully 2026 is going to be 55 events or 65 events. I'm telling you, we ain't even scratched the surface on this thing yet. Big shout out to Driven Racing Oil for their support of the brand. We appreciate them. Love those guys over there. And then I need to get down there and see them. We drove through Memphis twice in the last week, and both times, first time it was super late at night. Second time, I was like, I ain't stopping. I don't have an hour and a half. I'm sorry, Bill and the team over there. I don't have the hour and a half it would have taken to stop there and talk to you guys and have fun. So
for sure,
we'll live to do it the next time. All right, J-Wire Solutions here. Expert car and marine wiring solutions you can trust. J-Wire Solutions can wire and plumb your hot rod, race car, or drag and drive car. Plus, they offer products to make your driving experience better, like the blinker module that is a must for all drag and drive cars. The module will allow your rear turn signals to continue to function while the brake pedal is applied, just like your stock daily driver will. I want to have Jay on, if not Saturday, maybe next Wednesday, because there's some interesting stuff that was posted today that I'd really like to get his thought process on. So, Jay Blanchard, if you're watching this, get ready. I'm going to be hitting you up after the show to talk about it. But let's talk about events. This is really, and I guess we probably could have put it in the event news, but this is it's like more news for Drag and Drive, man. Sick Week, it was announced today they won they are the number one best motorsports race of 2025, voted on by the USA Today 10 Best Readers' Choice Awards. Man, this is a big deal. We talked about this last year, second year in a row for them to win it. This is huge. Big shout out to them. Big shout out to Tom Bailey and the team. Derek and I were messaging earlier. I would love to have him on maybe Saturday morning or next week for episode 106 to talk a little bit about this, because this is something that these guys, I mean, they were up against some serious competition. And I didn't do a ton of research to get all that list in here because I'm trying to move fast, if people can't tell. I'm trying to get to Ryan Wing and Jake here in a minute. But this is a big deal for the community because it takes the community voting to win this, obviously. But then, they have a full year of promotion for this, and that is only going to help Drag and Drive. It's only going to help Sick Week become a bigger event.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very good for the community for sure. And it's one more way to put what we love, Drag and Drive, in front of other, motorsports related, racers or fans or whatever. It's just, again, putting it out there so we can bring more people into the community.
Yep. And, I know one of the events was F1. And so you start thinking about like F1 level fans. They're like, what the heck is Sick Week?
Right.
What is this? And so then maybe they take that 42 seconds and click on the button and see that, oh man, they're driving their street cars to and from racetracks. What even is drag racing? There's a lot of guys out there that only follow F1, don't even know what a drag race is, don't know how it works. Now maybe they do because they just got their asses handed to them by some drag and drive guys over here, winning the best motorsports race.
Yep, super cool.
All right, and then this one here, I listened to this early this morning. I can't believe I didn't see it last week, but O'Reilly Auto Parts put together. They have with Derek Bieri in the aisles with Derek. This was a good one, man. Alex Taylor on there. I haven't really listened to this ever before. Episode 18. It really surprises me that I don't listen to this more. There's just not very many drag and drive racers that are on there. Derek is a drag and drive racer, but like he says in this, he's more of a casual fan. He shows up, enjoys doing it, but he's not like built a car for it. He's kind of made the cars that he's had work for drag and drive, or he's kind of been a hired gun and driven somebody else's car. So right. This was a great one. She talks about the first year, her first year drag week, kind of how the Bad Marrow came about, the goal for the 55. She's talked about that several times, but mid sixes. and then she dropped a bit of I don't know if I want to like hint or clues maybe, but she said they want to go faster. Obviously, I mean you wouldn't expect them not to want to go faster. And she's saying they've been kind of eyeballing maybe like a stretched and pinched 55 that is, like a next level car from what the 55 currently is. So they would still have that car and then also have the new, you know, almost like a pro mod, basically the way it sounded. You start stretching some stuff, you start kind of narrowing it, making it more aerodynamic. Now suddenly you're not mid sixes, you're low sixes, high fives.
Right.
So
And
it's a
that's the way
great,
it's going. We've seen
yeah.
it, Brian's got a
Oh
new
yeah,
car, and that's, if you want to be up there in the front,
yeah,
that's you've got to go quicker, and that's
yeah.
that's what they're
What do
going
you
to try
mean
to
650s? Puh, get out of
do.
here. 16s. Yeah, it's just wild. And the time has come. Like, it's time for somebody to take that next step. And I think that's what we're about to see here in the
Yeah.
next, I mean, hopefully by the end of Sick Week 2026, we're gonna have somebody with a 5 second average.
Yeah, I remember the first time I even heard her name was watching Dragon Drive, and her and Cletus were battling it
Yep.
out, and I'm like, who is this? Alex Taylor and this orange Camaro, and then
Yep.
obviously look where she ended up now. So pretty
Yeah, it's
crazy.
awesome. She got to tell a few good stories about kind of how that all come about, the hot rod garage time, all that stuff, and how all of that kind of works. So it was a great article. She's a great, public speaker. She does really well with all that stuff. So big shout out to that. One story she did tell was the duct tape over the oil gauge. Thought that was pretty funny, and Derek did too. But what I really wanted to talk about was this game right here. This
Just
is the
something.
guess the auto part. Uh, a couple weeks ago we talked about the guess the wrench size. We saw that on Cletus. This, I think we got to do this at the circuit block party.
Yeah, we got to do one of the other. Guess the wrench size or guess the
I
part.
think we can. I think we can do both. I think you could do the wrench in the box and it'd be funny. You know what I mean? But this is the way to go right here. It was hilarious watching them figure out. She knew what a lot of it was, but this that he's playing with right here is like a, I don't know,
Terminator.
some Honda
Oh,
valve cover or something, and man, it really threw him for a loop. He was like, I don't even know where to start with this,
that's
and of course you
funny.
can't see it, so
Yeah, I was gonna
pretty
say,
cool, man.
from the little picture I can see, it almost looked like a Terminator ECU or something.
Yeah, yep, about the same size and made of the same plastic. So, but yeah, I thought this was pretty neat. Something we're definitely going to have to add to the circuit block party plans. Now we've got belt sander drag races, valve cover drag races, the light
Practice tree.
practice tree tournament. Yeah, this is going to be a good one. Hey, Bucket List Mob in here saying hello as well. Been talking about
Yeah.
them the whole show. We don't quite have Ryan yet, so I want to go ahead and skip the Molly part for just a minute until they jump on. And again, it's going to be Ryan Wing and Jake, his son, that are building the car for the. They're building a car or finishing his S10, finishing Jake's S10 to take on Mega Week for the Junior Street class, which is so awesome. So let's skip forward. We'll do the Deechworks segment there.
All right. Deechworks is a leading manufacturer of high-performance fuel system components. The DW product line includes fuel injectors, fuel pumps, pump modules, fuel rails, regulators, filters, lines, fittings, and surge tanks. All of these engineered to support power levels ranging anywhere from 400 all the way up to 2200 horsepower. Since its founding, Deechworks has been committed to delivering quality, innovation, and precision to the automotive performance industry. Every DW product is built to maximize reliability and efficiency, which you guys know is important in drag and drive, ensuring optimal fueling solutions for racers, tuners, and performance enthusiasts worldwide. With a focus on engineering excellence and industry leading customer support, Deechworks continues to drive the future of high performance fueling. So you can use that code right there, that DDR10, and get 10% off of anything on their website. Head over to Deechworks and check out everything they got on there. Again, I listed off 6 or 7 different products that you can use on your build or your current vehicle.
Yep. This was, have you listened to this podcast yet? With,
I have not.
oh man, it's so good. It's so good. And it just shows. So I think it's like 2 hours. Um, I literally drove from Orlando to Panama City and only listened to 2 podcasts total. It was this one and the next one we're going to talk about. 1320 Video did an interview with Bob and Rich Guido. Y'all, this was a great one. Man, the stories these dudes have. Rich has done 22 drag and drive events in the GTO. Doesn't own a truck and trailer. Everybody knows the stories. But what was really cool is to be able to hear those 2 brothers tell those stories next to each other and just kind of keep, oh yeah, and then this happened. Oh yeah, and then this happened. Oh yeah. It was amazing to sit and, I mean, obviously I'm in a car, I'm driving. It was cool just to spend a ton of time listening to the stories that came from that and how they just grew, how they grew up, how it grew into the GTO that it is now, and like what the future holds and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Sounds like it'd be a good one. It's on my list on my phone of things to listen to when I get a little time out in the garage here soon.
Oh yeah. So Rich, I said a while ago, he's done 22 events. He's put more than 175,000 miles on that GTO since he completed it in 2011. Like that's
That's
so
14
crazy.
years.
Yeah, 14 years, 175,000 miles. He put 23,000 miles on it in 2023.
I mean, and you wonder why we award him the, Drag and Drive Ambassador Award, or what was the one we gave him the year
Road
before?
King.
Road
Yeah.
King. Like,
Yep.
this dude does it all. And again, like you said, no truck, no trailer. I
Yep.
mean, coming from Canada, we've seen the pictures of the car covered in snow on the way
Yep.
back. Like, he's the real deal.
That is for sure. So he said he's doing more weekend style events, so he can do more events.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem as quite as many week long events just because it takes so much time away. His next event up is Streetcar Bragging Rights, and that's a 5,000-mile trip.
Right. And you got to figure those week-long events for him have to be 2 weeks,
It's
easily a
got
week and a
because
half.
it's got to be a minimum of 3 days to get from Canada to just about anywhere that he would be going.
Right. So, yeah, I don't blame him for
Yeah.
toning back a little bit and doing some weekend events because that's still got to be a week to 10 days.
Yeah, I mean, and so, Streetcar Bragging Rights, he was saying that he was going to leave. So he was on his way home from Small Tire Gangsters. So he would be home for like 10 days and then he would head out and head towards North Carolina. Well, we know from his trips to Sick Week that it's like 3 or 4 days. It's 3 hard days for him to get to Sick Week. Like,
Yeah.
so it's 3 hard days for him to get to North Carolina, and then you race for 3 days, and it's 3 hard days home. Dude, that's 9 days
Right.
to go to a 3 day event.
Right.
And even if you were in a truck and trailer, it's still hard to get there and
Right.
back.
Yep. For
Wow.
sure.
Oh wow. Yeah. Hey, that's a good one. Go ahead and read Terry's comment there.
Yeah. Terry here is saying I'm trying for 25 different drag strips from October to October. That's super cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think the most I did was in 23, maybe. I think it was I think I did 24 different drag strips that year.
Yeah.
And that was, dude, I was on the road a bunch. And then the next event or the next podcast up is the Nathan Shaw podcast on the monoxide. Dude, this one's a good one.
Yeah.
Nathan is the creator and promoter and operator and racer of the of One Guy's Garage Drag Weekend. And what was really cool was like to hear him tell the story of like the Nova that's behind him he got when he was like 14 years old, the combos that have been in it, all the combos that he's worked on, all the different power adders styles he's had, and then also like what he does all the time. Like he's literally one guy in the garage. Like that's what he says. Like it's literally one guy's garage because I'm one guy. And
Right.
so he talked about how it's hard being gone, you know, for a week at a time to be on a big long drag and drive event. And that's kind of where One Guy's Garage Drag Weekend started. And that started in 2015
Right.
and has ran every year, I think, except one when his wife got sick. And like, dude, that's crazy. I mean, that's 10 years worth of running events now. And so it's awesome to see how this community is just grown in the time. If you think about it, 2015, it was Drag Week, One Guy's Garage, and Rocky Mountain Race Week. That's it. It's crazy to think and now look at it, so he's definitely, I mean, he was one of the first weekend events that were ever available, really led the charge and caps his registration at like 70, 75 cars
I
just
think
because he
so.
didn't want to have to deal with all of the extra stuff that comes along with that next step in cars.
Yeah, and being that one's local to me, I knew of Drag
Mhm.
Weekend before even we started doing all this, just
Yep.
because it was, one of those events that came through Byron every year.
Man, that's awesome. I'm trying to see if I have the next. Uh, yes, okay, I did put it on there. Next up, another podcast. I know we've been talking about podcasts a lot tonight, but uh, really that's how I consume a ton of news that way. Adam Dory had Mike Finnegan on for episode 74. This was a great one, dude. Mike is such a great guest. I mean, his
He is.
the conversations. I mean, he talked about early days of Roadkill, the Rotson, Drag Week, uh, the Caddy, the Lexus, anything and everything. Writing, how he got started, how he got his break. In TV, and how he never really planned to be on TV. It was just that's what happened, and obviously his great friendship with David Freiberger and how that's grown and gotten probably even better now that they can do their own thing whenever they want. So it's super cool,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I did catch a little bit of this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you said, starting out talking about, how he got into, working for the magazine, and then that moved to, everything, and even talked a little bit about editing. And, when he first started YouTube, they basically said his audio was horrible and they were going to stop listening to him if he didn't fix it. And then he learned how to, record that kind of stuff. So definitely some good nuggets in that one.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. He did a great job. Both of them did. Adam's really kind of coming to his own on this. Obviously he's a good announcer. We know that. He's definitely a great interviewer as well.
And he's not far behind us, episode 74 right there.
Yeah,
And I think he
I
just
know.
had 75 this week.
Yeah, had Benny Neal on this week. So I didn't
Yep.
have time to make the notes and watch that one yet, but I caught a little bit of it live. But man, trying to get back in the swing of things, getting ready for the big Tulsa race this weekend is got me. But this was a great episode. If you guys haven't done it yet, Adam Dory on YouTube, go subscribe right now. That's Cool Drink, episode 74 with Mike Finnegan. Highly
Yep.
recommended.
Yep. So obviously we just, here helping promote other podcasts, other stuff that you guys can listen to that's still, drag and drive related. So we're not the only ones out there doing it. So make sure you check out these other ones as well.
Well, and I think one of the cool things, like this is how we're going to grow it. This is how we're going to grow Drag and Drive is
Right.
through the opportunity to talk about, other people talking about Drag and Drive. So, that's where I try and spend most of my time is finding that next nugget, finding that next story, finding that next, deal. Because there's stuff within this Mike Finnegan interview that we haven't even tapped yet, that can lead to conversations, that can lead to articles, that can lead to answers for people that are out there and lead to more content, which is what our goal is, which is just to cram drag and drive down people's throat till they do it or they leave us alone and block us. So big shout out to Deech Works. Love you guys. Thank you so much for taking care of us. It's
Yep.
awesome.
Again, don't
We're going
forget
to
to
be,
use that code
yeah,
10% DDR10.
Yeah, definitely use the code when you're ordering stuff. Drop a note, tell them you saw it here. And then we're going to be in Oklahoma City as part of Mega Week. So I'm sure if they're not already set up as a route stop, we'll be going by there for sure, saying hey and taking pictures, doing quick videos, things like that. So All right. And then I would like to go ahead and do our race car friends and sponsor stuff, and then we'll bring on Jake and Ryan. So if you want to hit the race car friend stuff, we'll do that afterwards.
Absolutely. Again, we tell you guys all the time, you guys are our race car friends. It's been one of the coolest things I think that has come out of doing the show. You know, starting way back with your videos, Mike, from back in the day, just short style videos, yelling race car friends turned into this, and I see it on our stuff. I see other people posting stuff with hashtag race car friends. So love it. Love all you guys. Thank you for supporting us. Everybody in here commenting. Appreciate each and every one of you. And again, our sponsors. We just talked about Deechworks. Again, we can't do this without all of these guys on board. So make sure you go check out them, buy products from them, help support those who support us. So again, thank you, Summit Racing, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cam, J-Wire Solution, WAF Racing, Performa-Built Transmissions, Car Chains 3D, Power Tube TV, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk.
And then real quick here, Dan Chandler said another great follow is Lil Carter on the mic. He is one of the announcers at Back to the Street. So that'll be, yeah. So he's fallen in love with Drag and Drive as well.
Yep. And then lastly here, the gentleman's agreement. You guys hear us talk about this every week. We love what we do here. We love talking about Drag and Drive. We love going to these events and pictures, videos, content, bringing you guys stories. But this stuff takes time. Mike's been loaded up the last couple days after going on vacation. I'm going on a short vacation here in a couple weeks. So, trying to keep everything rolling, putting these shows together takes a lot of time. So all that we ask is if you guys are enjoying this, hit the like button, hit the follow button, subscribe wherever you're watching. That's it. Just show us some love and we will keep delivering the content that you came here for.
All right. Big shout out to Jason Schaefer, buddy. I drove like Niceville, Florida was on one of the signs I passed, and man, I almost pulled over, but I could not. So I can't wait to hang out with you at Mega Week. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, Brian here saying put a set of DW injectors in one of their cars. Heck yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, let's back it up here. Let's do the Molly Motorsports, and then we're going to bring Jake and Ryan on. We got a bunch of pictures to talk about with them. I can't wait. This is going to be a good conversation here. So I'll do the Molly Reed, and then. All right, racers and high performance enthusiasts, ready to start your next engine build? If so, there's no better time than now to check out Molly Motorsports all-in-one power pack piston kits. With over 1,200 applications, these kits come complete with pistons, rings, wrist pins, and clips designed to work together. Molly Motorsports power pack pistons kits take out all the guesswork. No more trying to determine if a piston will need this ring to work with a certain cylinder size. Molly Motorsport did all the engineering so you can get to the part that matters, building a power plant that leads to victory lane. Visit mollymotorsport.com for more details. And for our podcast listeners, Molly is spelled Mahle. All right, so I want to tell a fun story as we bring in Ryan and Jake. So Ryan and I have known each other for, dude, it's been a hot minute.
Dude, yeah, it's like I guess 5 years now, maybe.
Man, at least. So back before Drag Driver Pete was ever even a thought, Ryan and I were working on how do you build a YouTube channel, man? How do cool car guys show their stuff off? And that's really where we met. Oh, dude, bro. So got to hang out quite a bit, talk to Messenger and phone calls and all that kind of stuff. And one time I had Ryan and who's Bad Tree Productions? What's that dude's name? Blake. I had those two guys on the NarxKart podcast. I leave. Those guys stayed out for 3 hours afterwards.
And we've been friends ever since. Like
he's
come down from Iowa and stayed at my house. We went racing together.
Awesome. Yeah. Great community, man. If you guys don't know, the small YouTuber community is some of the tightest knit folks that you can be out there for sure. Mm-hmm. So, well, guys, give us a minute here. Tell us who you are, what you got going on, and then we're going to get into some pictures about the truck and kind of the story and all of that.
Tell them who you are.
Well, I'm Jake. I'm Ryan's son, and I have an S10 that we're going to take on Rocky Mountain Race Week here in a couple weeks. I bought it when I was 9. I saved up my money and we went to Oklahoma, and we bought it and brought it back down here. And we've had it for about 4 years, and we haven't really worked on it up until a few months ago. So it's been a mad thrash to get it done.
Yeah, nothing like a deadline.
Oh, yeah. Nothing like it.
Well, in my defense, okay. So when he bought the truck, the deal was he wanted to buy, he's going to buy the truck with his money, and he'd saved up a bunch of money, and we worked the deal, or he worked the deal. I didn't work the deal. We made a video about it. It was actually pretty awesome. He was over there working the guy over and Jewing him down on it. And anyway, long story short, he's been saving his money, and he bought the transmission and saved up to build the engine, and it kind of got to a stopping point in October because he's kind of run out of funds, and so we had totally planned on doing race week in my truck because he had already had seat time in it. He was comfortable with it. It was slow, and then we go out, we made a couple of changes, and we went out and did a couple of rips in it. And I think I blew a head gasket, or it's 110 over big block. So I either tore up a cylinder or something. And instead of fixing mine, we were like, why don't we just push yours and see if we can get it there? And so that's what we're doing right now. And we have a small YouTube channel called Streetcar Chronicles, and we just film the chaos of which it is our life.
Hey, I'm telling you all right now, it's one of the best channels out there.
Oh,
it's
thanks.
awesome. I love it. You guys, the enthusiasm you guys bring is infectious, man. It makes me want to do more stuff, man. I tell you, it's really fun.
Dude, I appreciate that, man. This guy right here, he's my right hand man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I try and do my best.
He's a bit of a ball buster, is what he is. Just call it what it is.
Yeah. Well, again, there's nothing like a deadline to get that busting of balls going.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no pressure. No pressure
at all. No.
All we need to do is make sure it functions and make sure it finishes. Not a big deal.
Yeah, no problem at all. Now, you guys have done. We did race week, 21. We were all together.
Yep. Yeah, 21.
Yep. And the cart, I broke the cart, so I didn't get to finish it. So I've never finished a drag and drive, anything I've ever done either. So finishing is a big thing. So I'm excited about this. So let's get into some of these pictures because I want you to talk about kind of the setup. What the plan is, and you guys went over this, or Ryan went over this a little bit last week, I think, on beards, burnouts, and beers on bank shift. And so I want you to kind of recap a little bit of that, but then tell us, what's going on in these photos, man.
You want me, or you want me to go, or you want to go?
Well, I can't really see it.
Okay. Well, what's going on in this photo here is Dave and Jake working and me being a goofball. I'm holding the light.
Yeah. He's always been a goofball.
Yeah. And I'm being told that I'm not holding the light in the right position by both of them.
Oh, yeah.
But tell them about the setup in the truck.
So the setup is basically a 5.3 LS. It's built a little bit. We got a turbo 350 in there, and we got a 4,000 stall converter, and it's got a pro brake on it, but we're not going to use it yet. So
yeah,
it's pretty simple.
Yeah, it's got a BTR stage 2 cam. It's 11.5 to 1 compression, carbureted. Because I'm not the EFI guy. Okay, Dave, the other guy in the picture, he's the EFI guy. But I wanted to teach Jake what I know first, which is carburetors and nitrous.
Yep.
And then whenever he gets to the point where he's tired of lifting heads and chewing up spark plugs and torching cylinder heads and all that kind of stuff that I like to do, then he can move up to turbos and EFI. That's eventually what he wants on the truck. And
nice.
Yeah. So
I knew I liked you, Jake.
You didn't talk about the rear end. It's got an 8.8 in it.
Yeah, we just got a new rear end for it.
Yeah.
We got an 8.8, and it's very nice.
373 gears.
Yeah. Dang, I didn't grab the. Ryan sent me a picture of the rear end, but I didn't grab it. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good, man. You're good. Yeah, we scored that from our good friend Michael Hollis. We were going to chance the 7.5 10 bolt because I mean they can't go faster than 9.0. I thought, you know what, we can make it happen. But then I remember that he's got a right foot that's the size of my right foot, and there's a good possibility we're going to destroy the 7.5. So
well, and let's be honest, there's a lot of street driving between there, and burnouts at sudden traction are what kills rear axles.
Yeah. So this thing's got 35 spline axles. It's got a spool in it, and it's got strange axles in it. Like it's nice stuff. It's got 9-inch ends. It's got strange brakes on it. And we I bit the bullet, bought the Calvert split monoliths for it. We're gonna go ahead and give it the best chance that it's got to where he can grow into it and add more power.
Yeah.
Right. Jake, how old are you?
I am 13. I just turned 13 in October. Yeah.
Man, think of Ryan, think back. Now, I got to drive a truck at 14, and I literally burned the right tire bulb. My uncle said I could do a burnout, and I just wouldn't stop. Would you probably would have done the same thing at 13 or 14, I would imagine.
Oh, dude. Okay. My grandfather went blind when I was 10. And I used to hang out at grandparents' house all the time. And one day when I was 11, my grandfather came out and said, I really need to run to Eckerd's and get our medicine. And I was like, mm-hmm. He's like, hop in the car and I'm going to teach you how to drive. And secretly for a year and a half, I drove my grandfather to run his errands.
Yes.
And then I used to, once I got comfortable, I get the old one wheel peel, turning right with the in the Caprice Classic was quite fun.
Annihilating that tire. Yeah. Grandma's like, what is happening here? I don't know.
My grandfather would always just grit his teeth, and he would look straight ahead and go, "You're going to blow the U joints clean out of this thing." And I was like, hey. I'd say, "How bad do you want to go to Eckerd's?"
Yeah, you're like, listen, I need to do some burnouts. So for folks that don't know, walk us through. 13 years old seems pretty young to be drag racing, especially on a drag and drive. But I love it. I think it's one of the coolest classes that's out there. So tell us about this class.
Dude.
So it's basically for kids 13 to 16, and it's just kids competing versus kids. And the parents drive us to the tracks, and then we compete at the tracks, and then they drive us to the next one. So it's a really cool little class, and I am really excited for it.
Yeah, he wanted to race against Blaine. He was
just missed it.
Yeah, and I didn't have the nerve to tell him back then that, hey, buddy, he's going to be older than you by the time you get to that point. But I was like, hey, we'll get there, buddy. You can race him. And of course, obviously he realized that he aged out. But I was like, there's going to be plenty of other competition, which is really cool because we actually we put on an all truck event, and one of our competitors, Levi Holt, him and his daughter are coming to run in the junior street event, and they're Maverick. So and then I don't know if Hollis is going to be able to make this one, but you get to that point where your kids are old enough to do things, and it's actually more fun to watch them do it than you to do it yourself. It's awesome. It's
well, and it's our ability to be able to teach them something. My 15-year-old daughter knows everything. My 12-year-old daughter doesn't know everything yet. So our goal is for her to do junior street next year. So I'm excited. It's really, big shout out to Matt Frost for kind of leading the charge on that, man. It's so cool to see that. So what are you, what's the, are you quarter mile? Are you eighth mile? What's your ET range? All that stuff.
So it's 8th mile, and the ET is 9 flat. That's the fastest you can go. But the first day you set your ET, and you have to set out a goal to stay that same exact ET every single day for the whole week.
Or slower.
Yes. You can't go any faster.
Yeah.
So is it like DYO? I can't remember. It's based on your difference, right? Like your spread. Yeah. That's cool, man. So do you think the truck will go faster?
I do think the truck will go faster. We'll have to slow it down just a little bit.
That's going to be the biggest problem. You might catch me with a block of wood and some zip ties underneath that driver's seat. And it may not be because it's going too fast. Maybe because my nerves are shot.
Oh yeah. Well, and looking here, it looks like he's got some Junior Street seat time, maybe, right?
Oh yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Well, this picture here is getting his NHRA license last weekend.
Yep.
Oh,
Last
cool.
weekend we had to do 6 passes, and I got it done. So
Yeah, he did good. He was poised. So over the course of the end of last year, I started letting him drive my truck. When we were at our truck race, when it was all said and done, I said, "Hey, hop in the driver's seat. Let's because we had free reign of the track. Let's go down there and let's make a few passes and get you acclimated." And he did really well. I was exhausted because it was a very long couple of days.
Yeah.
And so my nerves were a little shot. So in the video, I'm like, "Don't do this, don't do that." I sounded like that sounded horrible. But yeah, each pass he got better. And so we ended up we do a Christmas cruise every year, and it's a pretty fun little deal. We just get together with everybody with hot rods or cruise around. Well, this year we decided to meet up at a drag strip and ended at a drag strip and then put on a little shootout. He hopped in the driver's seat. I let him drive, and he went consistent, and he was working on his light, did really good. And we go out to this deal, and it's the first time back in the seat since probably December, right?
Yeah.
And we had planned on taking my truck, obviously, but we had the issue, and his truck wasn't ready, so we had to ask Mom if we could borrow her new Expedition, which is now currently in the shop for a transmission issue. Had nothing to do with this, I promise.
Not at all.
Yeah. We robbed it and came up there and got in the back parking lot. There's a lot of area there. If you've never been to the Motorplex, you can do what you need to do. And so I ran him through the motions, and we went up there, and he just went bang, 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 bang. And I really didn't have to tell him anything. And yeah, as a parent, it's hard not to helicopter, especially in that situation.
Yeah.
Especially when your wife will kill both of you when you come home and she's got, wall rash on her car.
Yeah.
But the last pass he did phenomenal with me in it. And then Eric out there at the track hopped in there, and he went A to B and no problems, no issues. And it's first one in the family NHRA licensed.
Yep.
Hey. See, we always try and give our kids better than what we had.
That's right.
Well, I'm excited about this truck, man. I think it's going to be really cool, especially like the story. Obviously, first trucks and cars are always important to car guys, no matter what. But this one's neat, man. This one's, regular cab, first gen S10, short bed. Like this truck could really get down, especially, there's a lot of really fast S10s out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely got the potential. That's for sure.
Yeah.
In the future, yes.
In the future,
yeah.
It's right now that thing should run. We've got some friends with some similar setups, and I was thinking maybe like some 780s, 790s, but I've been told that be prepared for 740s.
Oh man, that's awesome.
I was like, oh, that's not good.
Right.
So
we need to go a lot slower.
Yeah, but I got to say this though. The thing about this truck is it's really not just really an extension of Jake. It's not an extension of me. It's an extension of every person who has helped out because we have not done this on our own. We have had a ton of support, and just recently, as of yesterday, Michael Hollis had made us a deal on the rear end, and he was like, "Hey, what are you guys going to do? You guys going to carry your stuff in the bed of the truck?" And I was like, "Well, that was the plan when we were taking my C10, and they had plenty of bed space.
Mm-hmm.
And now we've got a 20-gallon fuel cell in the bed of an S10, so it's getting a bit narrow." Anyway, he was like, "Hey, I've got a drag and drive trailer that I built last year or the year before." And he goes, "It's not being used. Why don't you guys take it?" I'm like, "Really?"
Wow.
He goes, "Yeah, take it. It's got extra parts in it. Yeah, I run LS stuff. It's got tools. It's got a spare tire. It's multi-pattern." So he really stepped up, and then we're needing a few extra parts that we don't have yet. I'm waiting on Jegs to drop off some things, but there's some parts that we haven't acquired yet because it's like anything else. You start really dumping $1,000 a week into something. the budget gets tight. And, me being the guy who's like, let's do it once.
Mm-hmm.
But then
that'll get you.
Yeah, that gets you every time. So he put out an APB on the internet for us yesterday, and he has a hell of a reach. And so many people have reached out, and like I was like, he goes, give me a list of things you need. I'm like, well, you know what? I never realized the truck doesn't have a headliner in it. We're gonna die in that truck without entering a headliner. And some guy today last night messaged and said, hey, I have a brand new headliner that is not going to fit in my truck now that I put a cage in it. Yep. And it's wrapped in Gucci, and it's real Gucci. And I would have sent you that picture had I had it. But we picked it up today, and it's Gucci, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you're fancy. And the truck's green. Like what's the truck name now?
So it used to be Slimer, but I think I have a new name for it, and I think it's going to be Dollar Tree.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. That's awesome.
Is it caged?
No, it's not yet. No, it's very much just it was because it was all when we started the journey on this thing, it was let's just make it a clean. We had all intentions of let's strip it down, paint the frame, let's paint the truck. And, then we moved out here. At the time we bought it, we lived in the city. We had a 2-car garage. There just really wasn't enough space. And then we moved out here, and we live in East Texas now, and we've got property in a shop. And so we're like, hey, let's strip it down. Let's do it all over. And then we realized real quick that we ain't about that life. As much as we want to be, we're not. And so we're just like, hey, you know what? Let's just get it going. Let's go have fun with it. And then as the years go by, make it better and better and better.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and the cool thing is now, Jake, you're a young man. The cool thing is you got a lot of time ahead of you too, and Eric and I talked about this, how fun it is, especially with what you guys are doing, documenting so much stuff with the YouTube channel. Again, Streetcar Chronicles on YouTube. Please go subscribe. The ability to document that, spending that time together, obviously that's a big deal. But then as you go and as you learn, you're not starting with a truck that's out of your league and working your way up to that. You're now taking a truck that's probably, by the time you're done with Mega Week, you're going to be like, okay, can we go see if it'll run one of those 750s? Can we do that, please? Yeah. So it's going to be fun to see that, and that's a truck. You put those things in the fours pretty easy.
Oh, dude! And here locally, they have a class called Slow Street that juniors can run here, and they actually allow an 8.0 cap. So we'll go there and get a little bit faster and get a little bit faster, and like the transmission that's in the truck was a good friend of mine, Jacoby. He had a donk car that we built a couple years back. And he decided
Jacoby Betts Performance.
Oh yeah, no, not him. I can't remember Jacoby's last name.
Me either.
Dang it, that escapes me. That's bad.
Well, sorry, buddy. Anyways, Jacoby Betts Performance, dude out of Texas, also great guy.
Yes, he is. Yeah, absolutely. But he had this transmission, and he had it built. It's built to the hill. It's a turbo 350, but it's got an ultra bell. It's got billet parts in it. It's got a pro brake. It is racked and stacked. He had a brand new FTI converter.
Nice.
And he made him he's like, tell Jake if he needs a transmission, I'll make him a smoking deal. And it was unbelievably good price.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it's very nice. Very nice transmission. I've never had anything that nice. I'm kind of jealous. It's fine.
Well, and the cool thing is too, just sitting here thinking Jake's earning this. He's earning the money to buy these parts and things like that. That's a huge win for him, as he grows up and learns that it takes that kind of work to put into cars, and you got to get that money and then, go from there.
Man,
it costs a lot of money.
It's been painful, isn't it?
I learned real quick.
Hey, he learned about loan sharks in this whole ordeal as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he needed a little.
Is Dad a loan shark?
Yeah, he's got a loan shark. He's 10 years old. He's in the other room.
Oh.
and he's charging him 9% interest on the $100 loan. He literally will walk to the house and be like, "Hey, tomorrow we tag on another 9%." And and Jake paid some down on it, but the interest just came right back, didn't it? Yeah, that's life right there.
Yeah, that'll get you every time.
Every time.
Man, I love the S10. I love the story where you guys are, I don't know if I've said this publicly, but you guys are one of the folks we're going to follow on Mega Week. I'd like to touch base every day, see how the story's going, see how the truck's running, see where you stand. I think the Junior Street class is amazing. I think it's going to be a ton of fun to watch. And then, obviously, you guys are a blast to hang out with. So I got to have a reason to come over and hang out with you guys.
Dude, looking forward to it, man. Really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting that feeling again of race week. It was an awesome experience, and I can't wait to hang out with everybody. And I can't wait to hang out with this dude on the road in a small S10. I'm 6'2", 285 pounds.
Yeah. So is it bench seat or buckets?
It's bench, and it doesn't tilt. So he's making a big deal of that.
Hey, I never understood how important the tilt was until I got my big butt in there.
Yeah. Why does the steering wheel rub my belly?
Oh, my God. It's so bad.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Well, I want to switch gears just real quick. I want to talk about Beards, Burnouts, and Beer. That is on Bank Shift. You are a co-host on there. You're on there all the time, dude. I love it. It's sadly I have to watch it later because you guys come on the same time, which I love because listen, we're cramming this Dragon Drive down people's throats, man. I love it. So tell us what you guys cover. Tell us when, all this stuff. What's going on?
Man, we A to Z. It depends on where me and Chad's and Aaron's minds are that day. Aaron is what I call he's become he's the driver of the bus. Me and Chad are more like the children in the back that are wired up on cotton candy and couldn't find our way home if we had to. But we talk about everything. I mean, Chad, he has either known everybody or been around everybody tenfold. So he's always got some great stuff to talk about. I just, I have a blast with it. I met him on race week that day, and I actually have met him multiple times throughout life, but just so happened that last day, we met down in the lobby, had some breakfast, and we've been friends ever since. And I really enjoyed this friendship. It's good people. There's Michael Hollis in the comments right there, my homies. Yeah, that's right. That's my. I've known him. Okay, so cool story about him. I've known this dude since he was like 15. We used to throw him in the truck with me and my buddy and take him street racing back in the day. And that bad little Nova he's got, I remember that thing when it was running 850s, and I love that he still has it and it's just as fast as it is. But it's one of those things you look back on and he told me the other day, he said, man, if you have any troubles on the road or you need an engine or something, you call me. We'll make sure it happens because I want Jake to be able to finish race week. And he has no idea how much that meant to me. This stuff is so much more than cars, Yeah, it is. It is so much more than cars. And forever indebted to all the people that have helped out. My buddy Dave has put in countless hours. Dave and his son Carson. My buddy Richie donated him a brand new set of drag radials today. Thomas Higgins from Moonshiner Garage has driven up from Waco, helped us countless times now and sponsored him, gave him some money to put towards his deal. PJ Scholes, he gave him a brand new carburetor. I met a guy on RMRW, Daniel Clark. He messaged me and said, hey, do you have shock extender brackets for long travel on the front? And I said, no, we haven't got that far yet. And he goes, I've got a set I'm not going to use. Give me your address. I'll ship them to you. And he sent them to me. I never met the guy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And, Michael Poland, I've known him and, Tom Gunner throughout life, here and there at the track. But, yesterday didn't hesitate to post up, hey, let's help this kid out, and I appreciate everybody. It's an awesome thing to see. You spend a lifetime telling these kids that drag racing and the racing community is the best people you'll ever meet and you'll ever know.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's some bad seeds in there, but that's with anything. But for the most part, it is the best group of people you ever know. And to be able to sit back and watch my son see that unfold before my own eyes is
Yeah.
priceless.
Well, and man, I tell the wife all the time because I drive all over the country. I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm never more than 2 hours from somebody that would come save me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Bring
And-
some parts, bring some tools, whatever.
And that, and if anything, going to the YouTube thing, right? That's never going to fruitate for me. But the friendships that I've made from it, I mean, I have a safety net in like 6 different states that I know that if I needed something, those people are going to be right there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's
100%.
amazing. So I can't wait, man. I'm ready for some new memories. I'm ready for some videos. I'm sure it's going to be a fun show for your old man. You're going to do fantastic.
Yeah. So what's the plan? Are you going to are we going to have daily videos? We're going to recap. We're going to do one big one. What's the plan? Do you guys have a plan so far?
So we are in the morning. We're on Rocky Mountain Race Week 1.0. So we're gonna try and get daily videos out. So since we're in the morning, we'll get to the hotels pretty early, hopefully, and he can start editing him.
If we don't have any problems along the way, that's the plan.
Hey,
Yeah.
the trap of the morning run is that you're going to be like, oh man, we got all this time. It's fine. We can hang out and watch our buddy run. And then you're going to be like, why is it 2:00 and we're just telling?
Yeah. Luckily, a majority of my buddies that are doing this, because we have like 5 tailgate throwdowners that are going to be in Rocky Mountain Race Week. And all but I think one are in the morning session. So,
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so looking forward to that. I really wish the other guy could have got in there on the 1.0, but he was already a 2.0 guy, or the Rocky Mountain Race Week. He was already in the race week one. So I don't like using the 1.0, 2.0 anymore because I think they stopped using that. But yeah, so yeah, we're gonna leave the track. As soon as we get a good pass, we're leaving.
Yeah, we're making
Sure.
Yeah. See you guys at night. For the final round of the last cars.
Man, it's been wild. Eric and I have talked about this a bunch. Like for media guys like us, like what do we do? Is it just going to be 20-hour days for a week for us?
Yeah, I have been thinking about that because obviously being in that side of things, like you are, not the way that you are, but trying to cover an event or film an event. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's going to be brutal, man. I'm so ready for it. I can't explain how much I'm ready for it.
The only thing I can think of is if you go down to like the local ER and see if they can take and fashion a whole flat of Red Bulls and just tap right into your vein.
Just give it to me, bud.
Yeah, just run a drip, just walk around with a deal, and if everybody asks if you're sick, say, no, I'm alive and well.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Maybe we could do, instead of like the what's the sodium drip, we just fill that with just put some caffeine pills in there, just crunch them up, Give me that thing right in the vein, bud.
You won't be able to hold a camera straight.
Yeah. It'd be awesome. I'm really pumped. I think Mega Week is going to be one of the coolest events that we've ever experienced. Just the amount of cars, the amount of just taking over an entire city is going to be next level. We've never seen anything like that.
Dude, I am. It's going to be crazy. I feel bad for everybody who's having to run these events. I feel bad for Bat. It's why they're going to be so tired. Like it's going to be.
And just think the people that are double entering, it's going to be crazy.
We thought about doing it, and me run a faster class. And I'm like, nope. Nope. We're going to go
especially for the first time out. I think let him, take the hard road and go one, one truck, one race, and then after, because by the end of the week, you guys will have a process, all that stuff. Then next year. You can maybe do both. So I want to talk about the truck real quick. Your truck.
Yeah.
I love this thing. I'm absolutely in lust with this. The wheels, the color combo, man, it just it sits right. Tell us what this thing is.
Okay. So this was a bad decision. Well, let me back that up. My Malibu was a bad decision that turned into a worse decision. This was a good decision that rapidly turned into a horrible decision, but is now just a bad decision. Right? Are we back to bad decision?
Yeah.
Or is it just an okay? Anyway, back in high school, I had a truck identical to this. I sold it for some reasons, family-related stuff. And I kind of always wished I had it back. And I thought I wanted a 67 Chevelle because I had one of those as my first car. When I obtained a 67 Chevelle roller, I realized that I'm too fat, tired, and broke to build that car. The Malibu, I don't know, Mike, I don't know if you remember when I swapped it over to a rowdier big block than what was in it when I first met you. And it was fun, but it was also a pain in the you-know-whats. And I realized I didn't want to run valves and I didn't want to do all this stuff anymore. It wasn't as appeasing to me. But when we started messing with his truck, I thought to myself, I cannot afford to have two race cars living with me. So one's got to go. And I got rid of it. And this truck had popped up and I bought it and it had a 305 cold AC, it already been just a driver, you know? And then I took my wife out to dinner one night and we got on these country roads out here and the thermostat hung on the old 305 and I had to run it hot for about 4 miles into town. And when we got into town, I hopped out and beat on the thermostat and she went inside to get a drink. When she came back out, I fired it back up and I had fogged out the whole gas station. They thought I was on fire. It was quite cool.
Nice.
And then my wife's like, what's going on with all this? I was like, nothing, babe. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Hop in. And I'm like, oh, shit. We got like 28 miles to go.
Oh, man.
So I'm driving down the road and we are just fogging out everybody. You can't see anything behind me. Get home and I thought about it for a couple of days. I was like, it's a 305. I'm not pulling the heads off this thing. I know they're cracked. Like, let's throw some of that sealant stuff, that Blue Devil in there and see what happens. And it sealed up for about 4 or 5 miles.
Yeah, it didn't last very long at all.
Yeah, we thought we had it nipped. I was like, yes, and then poof, just started. Yeah, I was like, all right. So I was gonna LS swap it. I was actually gonna LT swap it, but then a friend of mine had a big block, and he was like, hey, I got this fresh big block. I only got like 1,000 miles on it. He's one of those guys that puts something together, a combination, runs it for a couple months, and pulls it out and builds something else. Yeah, mules his truck. And so I was like, dang, that's too good of a price. So I bought it and we big block swapped it, built a new transmission, left the 8.5 in it, put a mini spool in it, and did a little racing with him last year. And then I went to go check it because we were actually supposed to have the tailgate throwdown in end of March, but rain pushed us back like you guys. And I was like, you know what? I needed to change the axle seal on it. It was leaking. And I was like, well, let's pop the dip cover off. When I did, it was like one burnout away from grenading the rear end. The axles were twisted. The mini spool was broken into pieces. Like, I don't even know how it was still. We had just taken it on that drive. We on the Christmas cruise, it was like 225 miles.
Oh, my gosh, dude.
Yeah, and that last jaunt from the track is about an hour and 20 minutes from the house. And I'm like, how did this thing survive? But anyway, so I had a 12-bolt that my buddy Chad from Square Body Stuff YouTube channel had given me about 1.5 years ago when we went up there and stayed with him for a couple of days. And so we pulled it out and dressed it up and got it in the truck and put some cow tracks on it. And it was running pretty decent for what it was, but I don't know what happened. I think a bouncer, I've got a vibration in it that showed up out of nowhere. And then that's when it started running a little funky and pushing water. And I'm like, all right, this thing's, I knew when I bought it that it was a decent price because it was 110 over, so
yeah,
it was a crapshoot, but we're working on a plan. I've got another big block acquired. We're probably going to do a 496.
Oh, sweet.
And then we'll probably do a 400 with a gear vendor.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. See, and then it'll be a perfect truck.
Then it'll be perfect. Well, yeah,
just a cruiser.
If the AC's back on it, that's the thing. I never got the AC back on it.
Yeah, you're going to have the AC on it, man. Listen, you're of an age that you need AC. Believe me, I live there.
Yeah, dude.
It's black, and you live in Texas,
Buddy, listen, AC is a very crucial part of my life, and I'm going to be without it for like, 7 days, 8 days with you in that truck. Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Yeah, 918 Motorsports has a LS and a Pro Charger with that.
Man, listen, if I win the Steve Morris giveaway, it's going to have a Magnuson 454 LSX. Let's just say I'm about to be head to toe with SM all over me. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. All right, well, I want to invite you to stay on with us, and we've got a couple more topics here to talk about. Again, I said I watch your stuff all the time over there. I know you're a great co-host. So if Jake is cool, you stay on with us, kind of give your thoughts on some of these things too. This would be pretty easy stuff. But again, big shout out to Molly Motorsports for being part of our program here. Love those guys over there. And let's get to the rest of this stuff, man. Me flip forward here. We talked about all this stuff. Let's get into the watch racing segment here to kind of get us back on track. Mr. Eric, if you'll hit that video.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever wished you could fit your toolbox in the palm of your hand, or really needed that extra set of hands while making a jet change at the track? At WAF Racing, we specialize in designing and manufacturing top-tier automotive tools that are made strong to withstand travel, yet lightweight not to slow you down. Tested in-house and at the track by the team at WAF Racing, every part is made by racers for racers. From compact toolkits, carburetor top hats, or spark plug storage containers, our tools are precision engineered and manufactured in the USA. Made of the strongest materials, every piece strikes the perfect balance of durability and dependability. Maybe you need something custom just for you. We do that too. You need WAF Racing in the passenger seat for your next drag racing event. Head over to wafracing.com today to take your racing experience to the next level. WAF Racing. Design, build, race.
And I wasn't even thinking about how this stacked up, but you got car makers.
Right.
We may need to get you connected with some WAF racing stuff, man. They got well, you heard it all there. You heard all the stuff they got. They got a bunch.
Yeah.
I'll hit up Chris here in just a little bit and see if we can get some parts coming, because they got like these super cool adjustment, screwdriver stuff that is good for setting float bowls and all that stuff that you do with car. I don't even know what that means. I don't know what a bowl is, but I heard it one time.
Back in my day, we used screwdrivers and jets to get the job done.
Your papa could listen to it and tune it by ear. All right, let's talk about Sixth Magazine. You talk about winning stuff with Steve Morris. How about maybe you win a Pontiac GTO in $5,000? Drag and drive ready. SixthMag.com. $1 equals one entry. Sounds pretty cool. I love this. I would really love for maybe Rich Guido to win this.
All right.
He has 2 GTOs.
Is his a 65 too?
I think so. It's right around in there.
Yes, it is a 65. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I should probably know that, but
Yeah,
They're
super cool.
Times.
Super cool car for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, drag and drive ready. But what I'm most want your opinion on, you guys, is this thing. James Rowlett, longtime drag and drive racer, has entered Pink's 2.0 for PowerFest on PowerTube TV, and he's racing an Explorer. This blows my mind. I don't understand this, but listen, if it's an 8-car shootout, somebody's going home with 7 new cars. So if it was cheap, and it's already got an 8.8, we know they'll handle it. Engine bay's big enough to fit anything, but man, what do you think these things weigh if they're completely gutted?
So
I don't know.
there used to be a guy that ran one of these around here, and there was actually a guy that ran a newer version than that, I think.
Right, with a little square grill and stuff. Yep, I remember that.
Yeah, that one just recently sold, but I think if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, it was pretty heavy, but the ballast was really good in that Explorer setup there. So the cool thing about them is, if I'm not mistaken, if somebody knows about it more than I do, very easy to set up a long travel setup onto as well.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I wonder what the front suspension is on one of those. Surely it's not a strut.
It's a strut. No, that's a frame. It's got a frame under it, so it's a cool spring. It's like an S10, a upper A-arm, lower A-arm, cool spring. But the newer ones, like the one that we were talking about earlier, I believe that one actually is a strut front end, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, sweet. Well, and again, if you're giving one away, dude, you better it better be as cheap as possible to get into it, and then build all the right stuff from there. So he said a 2-door Ford Explorer. Nobody will forget the Ford Explorer that ripped on pinks. You have to be the legend to be a legend.
Amen to that.
Yeah. This is pretty cool, man. I'm excited to see this new Pinks 2.0. This is dude, an 8-car shootout and winner take all. That's insane.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's did you or Eric or you have you ever competed in the Pink's situation?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so I have, and I wasn't in a 2-car shootout for the Pink Slips, but I did the very first all out event that they did at
Oh, sweet.
the Motorplex.
Okay.
Mhm.
And my God, what a grueling day that was. It was a day to remember. Let's just put it to you that way. But it was interesting. It was very interesting. We had 2 buddies that actually made it into the show, and one of them was an all-wheel drive Talon. It's a guy named Glenn here. He had probably he was like, I think, 2nd or 3rd fastest Talon in the world at one point in time.
Oh, wow.
And he went deep into it, and of course, in DSM form, it broke. So,
yeah, transaxle or transmissions or axles or
transfer case.
Transfer case, all the time. Yeah, because the only way to launch those was to just like put it on the limit and sidestep it. Hope it lasts.
Yeah.
No ease in there. Next up here, real quick, Michael Lone, finally 2-year build, gets the car running, takes it to the track. First outing with the Mustang, he says it goes straight. It stopped, and after a little tuning on the chassis, it went quick. Personal best 60-foot, and in the same ET range that he ran in his Blazer before that, just with a lot less boost. 128 to the 60-foot, 570. This car is fast. Took it home, literally pulled the engine out, doing a bunch of. I'm like, bro, what the heck, man? But big shout out to him. Congratulations. This car really has been a long time coming for him. He had an S10 square body Blazer. He runs. Michael Lone runs Carolina Drag Cruise, and so again, hosting a drag and drive, racing in One's Too Hard. Was building this car to do that kind of stuff with, and now has it pulled apart again.
Somebody also got a case of while I was in there.
Yeah. Mr. Eric White.
I hate those.
Man. Well, we've got to put a different rear end in it. Might as well go with a bigger big block and 400 in a gear vendors.
Why not?
Yeah.
While you're in there.
All I needed was a bigger radiator, and look where I'm at.
Yeah, that's all you needed. And then next up, dude, I'm so excited about this car. Bryant Goldstone's new car is at Devin Vanderhoo's place getting wired up. Bro, this car is going to be nasty.
Yeah, how come Devin hasn't sent us over some sneak peeks of this thing?
I don't know. I haven't asked either. I need to do that. I'm going to do that after this. Make my notes now.
Yeah, you better get the down low on what's going on this thing, because I mean that's the guy to wire it up. So I'm excited. I'm ready to see this thing on an event. Yeah,
it's interesting because I thought the car was pretty close to running. So I wonder if they're changing up the the run system or the ECU or whatever. So,
man, that is something else. Is that a Corvette body?
Yep.
Yeah, a 50s model or
like a 53.
Yeah,
it's got. I mean, obviously, you see SMX, big twin turbo. I mean, this car is going to be 5-second capable.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You need to get
Yeah. Hey, listen, by the time you're done with Mega Week, you guys are going to be famous. It's going to be awesome. YouTube money is going to be rolling in.
Hey, you know what? I got to give a little plug real quick. I forgot to do it. If you notice, this guy's wearing a hat right here. I'm going to steal it.
Oh, hang on.
Right there. Can you see it? So he has started doing photography, and he is killing it in photography. So if you're into cool race pictures, slide over to Grab a Gear Photography, give him a like and a follow. And he sells shirts and hats. That's how that's the way he figured out to kind of fund his ordeal. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, just dropped it in the comments there. I don't have a where's it at? Instagram, Facebook, all the stuff.
He's on Facebook. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, I will be definitely doing that for sure.
Yeah, because we need one of those.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Some more shirts.
Yeah. A lot more shirts.
Yeah, just a few more. It's fine. It's fine.
It's a picture.
Yeah, you only got to sell like, I don't know, what, 10 shirts at like 10 grand a piece. You'll be there.
Yeah, it's not that big.
Close. That may get you the engine there. This setup here, this is important because we know how this goes. This is Joey Arquette in the diesel truck, and they are building for some airflow. They've actually built a bunch of block off stuff, which is important. Sorry, I didn't. Yeah, you can see the black one there in the middle photo. This is all open beforehand, right? And so things don't work right if they have just open airflow everywhere. So he's actually creating a ton of extra, like diverting air across the radiator and intercooler. So this is a big deal, especially as we go, into early June, late, the last day of May, early June. Going to be driving into Texas. It's always 100. It feels like when we're down there. Yeah. So airflow, man, guys, be thinking about it as you're getting ready for Mega Weekend. And 6 summer. 6 summers right after that. So
yeah.
Summertime airflow, gotta have that radiator working.
It is importante, as they say.
Yeah, so I thought that was a pretty cool one. But again, WAF Racing, big shout out to them. I'll holler at Chris after this. I'm gonna make those notes now too about some carburetor tools, because maybe then you can help me understand some stuff while we're at Mega Week. So
hey, listen, anytime you want a good old carburetor lesson, come on by. I love spreading the news. My buddy Dave makes fun of me all the time. He's like, hey, all I have to do is go in here and grab this little thing and slide over to this little table. I'm like, hey, all I have to do is reach in my back pocket. I'll always keep that thing on me, bud.
That's awesome. All right, let's wrap this thing up, man. We got like 14 more minutes. Eric, you think we can get through this last bit?
Oh yeah.
All right, man, lead us in here.
All right, Performabuilt is our official transmission builder of Drag Drive Repeat. At Performabuilt Transmissions, their goal is to engineer and build the toughest transmissions on the planet. They don't just rebuild transmissions, they systematically re-engineer each model to eliminate OEM flaws and to achieve the highest levels of performance. That's why they say their transmissions are not just built, they are Performabuilt.
That is true. And a 4L60 lives in this car. So
right.
We're going to see if it'll, it's like 7,500 pounds loaded down. Like this right here is 7,500 pounds.
Wait, hang on. Did you say 80 or 60?
No, 60. 60. Yeah. Performabuilt. It's like a level 5 4L60 and been in there like 5 years. 200 something horsepower worth of nitrous. And
now it's twin turbo.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah. Ryan's got it figured out, man. It's awesome to see that thing live and leaves hard, pulls the wheels, leaves hard, runs 10s. I mean, it's a heavy car, so it doesn't make just a ton of power. But now with the twin turbos, man, who knows what it's going to make. Right. So Ryan said he was a little nervous at performance. He was a little nervous about them with the twin turbos, but he's going to be at 6 Summer with them in the car. So should be pretty fun to see there. Speaking of fast cars, Clark Rosenstengel brought out the 5th gen Camaro, took it down to Blytheville, Arkansas, where I'm from, and my mom lives, and ran the car. I didn't get a top speed on his stuff, but last year he set the high mile an hour of 260 something miles an hour in a street car. Right. And then this year, he made a couple runs. And then David Newbern went 200 plus miles an hour in Blytheville as well. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Drag and drive guys out there. And then Steven, my brother, his son, Lincoln, my nephew, stayed with my mom. Lincoln stayed with my mom while we all went to the beach. and she took him over to see the cars and race and all that kind of stuff. Kid's hooked, man. He's hooked.
That's awesome.
He's ready for some fast cars now.
Love it.
Not just cool street cars that go real fast. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So big shout out to Linky. He was down there having fun. He talked about that for probably an hour on our ride home. So we picked him up in Memphis on our way back through, and he's talking about the fast cars.
How old is he?
Cool.
He's 3.
3.
So
That reminds me of somebody I used to know.
yeah, right. And look at him now. Got his
Yeah.
own car. That's awesome. And then Big 3 Racing, big shout out to them. Hung the sign on the side of the building. You know, we've been talking about these guys for a while. You know, they're building a brand new shop on Dragway 42 up in Iowa, maybe? No, it's not in Iowa.
Ohio.
Yeah. This is a big deal for them. They've never had a big sign on the building. So, you know, he made kind of a sentimental post, and Chuck was on a couple of weeks ago talking about this new building, but this is really, really cool. So big, you know, congratulations and shout out to them. And I think them building on the drag strip facility, they're like 500 feet from the starting line. I think it's one of the coolest things I think we're going to see a move towards that for a lot of, you know, performance shops and things like that. Cause you can just go right there. It's just right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no better place to do it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
No better place.
Plus, it helps the track. Like,
Yes.
you know, whether you're buying that little sliver of land or you're paying rent to them or whatever, like this is a big deal. You know, this will help the track live longer. It'll help them because, dude, can you imagine how many people break stuff? And then if there was like a legit parts store that had real automotive parts and tuning and fabrication ability to be able to fix on site,
Yeah.
these guys will be so busy they won't be able to stand it.
Oh, 100%. 100%. That
So-
is a smart business decision. Good on them.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, huge buildings, like big
Yeah.
stuff. Pretty awesome. All right. And then this is what we really came here for. So Iowa passes a law to protect their tracks. If you move within an area and the track was there before you, hey, tough shit, bro. You can't complain. We're not even going to listen to it. Don't bring it to us. We don't care. Right?
As it
You
should be.
moved by the racetrack. It's on you. The next day, Sloan Onondaga closes because of the because of a court injunction. Like literally, one of the neighbors complained enough that she got the track closed.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so you can see here the red spot is her house. The green circle is the track. She's the main one. Some I don't know, highfalutin lady, local, but apparently she had lodged complaints since like 2013, 2014. And then the guy at the end of the shutdown that owns the land there, he had been complaining as well. So they all kind of teamed up and went after, man. To me, this is just complete shit. Like, we don't race cars 7 days a week. You know, you race them on the weekends.
You know what, though? Here's the deal. I challenge anybody who's watching this that lives in or around that area. That road right out in front of that racetrack looks super straight and nice.
Oh, it's probably flat.
I encourage people to do illegal things in that area.
Oh, yeah. Well,
much-
and they're close enough to land. This is in Michigan, not in Iowa. I know I talked about Iowa, but it was just the irony between the two. In Michigan, in Lansing, they have a serious street race problem, like seriously problem with people racing on the street, doing takeovers, all that kind of stuff. This gives people an opportunity to go out and race and live that life, right?
Yeah.
Now they can't. Like, what's going to happen now? And what really sucks is Woody Sloan or Sloan Woody, you know, buys a track a couple of years ago, you know, has poured a ton of money into it and is building a great community, building a community bigger than what it was already. And now, I mean, they literally, you know, lock the doors. You can't race, can't bring your car down. Don't bring the car to the track. Don't do anything. Don't even open the gates here.
There's got to be some kind of legal action that they're working on to reverse that.
Oh, yeah.
That's unbelievable. You know,
Yeah.
it takes, all it takes, and I tell you this all the time, all it takes is one fool to screw it up for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one fool that lives right there in that red dot. And I'm telling you right now, if they don't get that place back up and running within a year, go back to that Google Earth shot, and you're going to see black marks everywhere. And I hope it's scattered. I hope it's so bad. I hope that woman can't sleep all night long.
Well, and what'll happen? I'm sure if she had the ability to bring that level of fight, she surely will have the cops out there driving it all the time. You know what I mean?
I'm sure.
And they'll get tired of it, and they'll just be
yeah.
like, "Man, why can't we just do this track?" So, like, here's my biggest gripe with all of this. Like, literally, that track's been open 50 something years.
Yeah.
Why? Like, you weren't living there 50 years ago. Like, this hadn't been something between you and the family, but like. And she lives behind. I mean, it looks like a wooded area. Like I can't imagine that you would hate your life that much to get them closed down so you can live there. Like sell your shit and get out of there and go live somewhere else. Go live 8 miles from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, listen, they make these really cool things called noise canceling headphones, and he has.
Yeah.
And if you put those on and listen to your little audiobooks about hating life and all that kind of stuff, you won't hear it.
Yep. Just man, it's really sad. It's really sad. Blows my mind.
Yeah.
But that kind of wraps us up. Big shout out to them. I hope they get this figured out, and I hope they get it figured out quickly. One of the hardest parts for promoters is, I mean, dude, you're in the season. Like they're probably opening up now, if they're not already open for a few weekends this year. With test and tune stuff, you can't ever tell it's Michigan. I don't know what the weather is like on that side of Michigan, but I would think this is a bad deal. This is real bad to think that racing facility has been open that long and shut it down.
It's a very, very bad deal. And the weather is actually just getting good up there. I've got some friends that live up in Michigan. It's been snowing off and on, so they haven't even been able to race. They just got up and running up there. They went out and took their truck out for the first time last weekend. And it's just it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame to see that kind of stuff go on. It's bad when you see your tracks closing down because they're slow or they don't have the car count they're looking for, or people are complaining about pricing, but to have one person run it for everybody else is just unbelievable. And it just goes to tell you, it's super important when you vote your city council people in. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah. Well, and that's what's even wilder is they had, from what I was reading, they had already figured this out and thought they had squashed this like 5 years ago. And then here it comes back. So yeah, it's man, I hate to see it for sure. Surely they'll get it figured out. Maybe that lady just needs to move. Like that's the easy answer,
Well, I don't know what kind of races they put on there, but I'll tell you this much. If I own that track or I was a promoter in the area and my race was affected by this lady and her selfish ways, the minute the track gets reopened, because there's a good chance it's going to get reopened, I would call any and all NHRA, IHRA, or even the Funny Car Chaos people, and I have the loudest car crackle fest you've ever heard in your life, and we'd be running them all day and all night.
Oh yeah, man, that's a grand reopening celebration.
Yeah, that's absolutely. It's a night of fire all night.
Oh, dude, night of fire, jet cars.
Oh, dude, jet cars.
Nothing like a jet car. Yeah, nothing like a jet car, man.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love a jet car besides her?
Right. All right. Well,
opening.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, listen, Jake and Ryan, stay with us. We're going to go ahead and close the show down, but I want to talk to you backstage for just a minute.
Yeah.
Thank you for spending time with us. We don't usually do that with guests, but man, I like you guys. I can't wait to hang out again soon.
Thanks for having us, man. Sorry we were a little late, but we are super excited to do this. It's great talking to you guys and really appreciate it.
Yep.
Sure.
Thank you for inviting us on. It's a real pleasure.
Yeah,
I'm excited. So grab a gear photography, grab you some stuff, grab you some swag, all that kind of stuff, and then Chronicles on YouTube and all that. You might make sure you're following these guys, all that stuff. We're gonna be catching up on Mega Week here in just 3 weeks. So 3 weeks, man. It's crazy. All right. See you guys. We'll talk in a minute. Dude, how much fun, man. We've had a good show tonight. This has been awesome. And a ton of content, ton of stuff. I feel like we've just getting crammed down people's throats all night long. So thank you to everybody that's been here hanging out and spending time with us. I'll run this out here, guys. Thanks so much for being our race car friends, man. We can't do this without you guys. We keep saying it all the time, but we really do appreciate it. All the comments tonight, all the shares, all the stuff that's out there. You guys have been amazing. And then thank you to our sponsors. Without them, we really can't do this. You know, Eric and I are looking at travel all the time, trying to figure out where and when we can go and how we can do it and how we get to the Drag and Drive Awards at the end of the year and afford PRI booths. And it's because of these folks right here support us. So we can't do all of that without them. So if you are taking the time and spending some money or even shopping, please go over and try and shop with these guys. Summit Racing, Deech Works, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solutions, WAF Racing, Performer Built Transmissions, Car Change 3D, Power Tube TV. You got to watch that for sure. Power Fest coming up with Pinks, and then Sweet Patina and Racing Junk Classifieds. Thank you guys so much again. We'll see you very, very soon.
See ya.